All right, we'll call the August 5th Park and Rec Committee meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Steve,
Here.
Andrew,
Here.
Seth,
Here.
Emma, and Cindy.
Here.
Right, first period for public comment. If you have a comment for the public, come on up here, say your name, address, limit yourself to 3 minutes, and take it away.
Dallas Severs, 620 West Decker. I just want to start. Thank you guys. Thank the subcommittee for taking the pause and looking into maybe another option. So thank you very much for doing that. Thanks for putting time in. And then I just want to say, give my support for a community build. And a lot of people I talk to are really interested in being part of it if that is the way it goes forward. So thank you guys.
Thank you. Anyone else? Is there anyone online? All right, we will move to item number 3, approval of committee minutes for July 15th, 2025. Is it on? Yeah, put the mic in. No.
The light's here, but not okay. This is Emma, and I move to approve the committee minutes from July 15th, 2025.
It's AJ, I'll second.
All right, any additions, subtractions from the minutes? All those in favor? Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. On to item number 4, update on Eckert Playground project.
I'm going to take it. So the last time we spoke, we took a pause, like Dallas mentioned. After that, though, we as a leadership team met. Kim, do you remember what day that was? Everything's blending together. We met a couple weeks ago and went through all our options, discussed different things from the public input to the trees to just the overall playground. And then at that time, we had a leadership team member bring up that he had spoke to Play by Design. It's a playground company in Ithaca, New York. It's kind of like Leathers. It's I think they kind of split. If you want to,
Yeah.
you're the one that talked to them, so
Yeah,
I'll let you fill people in.
So that, yeah, there was some, I know there's more than one company that goes by Play by Design in the United States. One's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This one's out of Ithaca. They used to be the And Associates part of Leathers and Associates. I don't know how long it's been, but they're not the same company anymore. They are 2 separate entities based in Ithaca. Is where they both were, but the Leathers moved to Florida. They are still in Ithaca. But they actually do work with municipalities. So there are options in their design and build process that makes it easier to use. I think now it's just a matter of fleshing out design so that we can have something to show the public.
Yeah, so a little bit about that. I reached out to him last week, kind of talked to Play by Design about kind of our playground and our options and forward. Sent him the RFP that we sent the 5 previous playground companies. It didn't go through, so I had to send it again today. I don't know why it didn't go through. So hopefully he has it now. I'll check with him this week to make sure he received it. Talk with him if he's got any questions. We're hoping, I gave him a deadline of August 25th, that Monday, the last week of August, for a rendering and a budget. Our goal as a leadership team is to meet after that week and then bring back information from them if they do indeed want to do a rendering and a budget from them. In the meantime, too, we are still working with Lee Recreation to update and maybe shrink that playground a little bit and try to continue to work around the trees. So hopefully, again, for the leadership team, we're gonna have two options to bring to you guys. But until we hear from Play by Design, that's where we stand. Like I said, we have August 25th deadline. And then hopefully September 2nd would be our next Park and Rec Committee meeting that we can kind of have both of them up there and kind of go over the playground designs.
Do we have any idea of the cost?
No, that's, we gave them, in the RFP, it was 650 to 700,000, which that was the budget from, Lee Recreation. So again, they got all the same information that the 5 other companies did, and we're just waiting on a budget, community build, and prices, kind of like what we've received from Leathers and the other companies.
How are you doing with this, with everything else going on with like things growing a lot? Because I know your workload with mowing and staffing is, I've just been thinking about you, so I'm just wondering if it's manageable.
Right now, it is.
Tell the truth if you want.
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth, but that was kind of the updates too. Right now, it's not too bad because we still have summer staff. However, those summer staff are leaving, and I'll bring up one of my concerns in the updates. But for the most part, it's going well.
And then I think for the tree thing, I'm just kind of curious about the details because I'm not on the committee, but when you talked to Lee Burke, was it just sort of to scale back so that we could prioritize the trees being there? Maybe take some equipment out?
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
Great.
Yep, because in our previous design, we had talked about removing 4 of those trees. With Lee Burke, we decided to save 2. There's still 2 in question, and now we're looking at ways to save all 4. I don't know if that's still going to be a for sure thing, but we're trying to save as many trees as we can. I still, again, being the Park and Rec director and forestry, not only here, but other places, it is still one of my primary concerns over a playground. But we can address that and hopefully minimize the risk of trimming the trees and doing that. But it is still a risk concern that I have over the playground.
Just because of the safety of like a branch falling or something?
Correct.
Yeah. So would there be like an added cost to sort of anticipate or like do things proactively to prevent something?
Yeah, if we remove that playground, we would have to have the city guys come in and prune those trees back a little bit and take the dead out and, the hazards.
Can you
Before.
access them now with the, yeah.
Not with the right equipment. It would cost us a lot of money to have somebody climb the tree unless we could go get it donated from one of the tree experts in town.
Plus they're oak trees.
Yeah, and you
them
can't touch
until,
those
like,
until
November.
November. Because there's an oak wilt disease.
Well, thanks because I know these are the kinds of questions people coming to or listening to want to know, because I know we're kind of catching people up a little bit, but one of them is that there's a risk and danger to the trees as they are right now. But if the park's replaced, then it's an opportunity to protect the trees that we have, also put them in good repair so they don't pose a safety hazard in the future. Yeah.
And there, again, you guys know, but there is one to the north of that playground that is currently dead right now that will have to be removed.
Thank you for working on that.
Like type of design we went with? Like, are we asking for like a second gen, a new design?
Yeah, roughly it's the way you described it would be like your park but better. So what he means by that is like some of the nooks and crannies that are like really tiny that the kids can crawl through that say adults can't. I think they kind of open it up a little bit, but it's still multi-generational use. I think the one caveat, it is not wood. It is made out of recycled, like post-consumer recycled plastic lumber. But it doesn't have to be bright, colorful. It could be wood tone. So that way it does blend into, it'd look kind of similar to what we have. But that was also like his recommendation as well, because he also seen the newer treated lumber doesn't last as long as the stuff did in the 90s because it probably doesn't have as many heavy metals inside the treatment process. So, because that's the thing with the whole rebuild, we want to make sure that it is I don't want to say maintenance free, but like as less maintenance as possible for our city staff, just because they don't have time to go stain playgrounds every year. Anything else?
Just the railings and we talked a little bit about those little plates on the fence that goes around it that are in honor or in memory of somebody. I know some of them are unreadable. I don't know if, someone was asking me if they could get theirs, but I was over there looking at.
Yeah,
Some look like they were white and then some look like they're metal, so I don't know.
right. I think if you need to, I think we could even do it like an etching or just take a piece of paper and like a crayon or whatever, and you might be able to read.
I don't know which one it is. They're not even.
Doesn't matter. Could do it to all of them.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And I think just also to clarify for other people, I know, so budget is one thing we have to think about, safety is another, and so part of that is the timeline. So what are you guys thinking about as far as timeline goes when it connects to safety or budget? I know you, I think partly I'm trying to catch up, but I know these are kind of questions that float about.
We haven't had a confirmed date, or we've thought more of, we're not going to get any playground in this fall. It's just not feasible anymore. So if anything, we would have to look to push back to the spring, maybe tear down in the fall. If we continue to move forward with this project, because it's slower in the, fall and winter, and if Public Works could help us out and access that, or if we have somebody come in and tear that down, and then again, I'd feel comfortable if it's all going to be dependent on fundraising still. But hopefully we could continue to do it in the spring.
Yeah. Is that budget for Play It by Design that August 25th?
August 25th.
Yeah, what,
Just a rendering and a budget. So
Yeah.
like the first proposal that they would send to us.
yeah, and that timeline was so that you guys could keep moving it
Keep
forward.
moving.
Yeah, and is it partly just to kind of see if they're serious about it, are going to be responsive? Because there's been like some runaround in the past.
Yep.
And you don't want to go down like a dead end at this point.
Yes.
Okay.
That was one of my concerns, to be honest, to working with another company in New York.
Yeah.
He was very responsive to Steve when he talked to him. Again, I know technical difficulties if he didn't receive it, but I know he's busy too. He was in Janesville and other places, but I haven't really talked to him that much. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. All right. Nothing else? We'll move on to item 6, I believe. 5. Update on Park and Rec Outdoor Comprehensive Plan.
So not a whole lot new on this. As you guys remember at our last meeting, we had the existing report and the goals. That's kind of where we stand currently. They're just going through, again, all that information and putting it in. I just reached out to them on some of my goals that I've had throughout the years I've been here. And then upgrades to different parks. So they're trying to take that information and blend it with their information. We'll have a meeting next Monday, I believe, kind of just an update meeting. So we'll get more information, but we're continuing to move ahead on that. I know me and Cindy and Historical Society would like to see more, but we're just in the waiting game right now, just getting all that information. If you want to add anything, Cindy, you can.
No, I think you covered it pretty well.
So this is more the exciting point now where we get to start, what we want for our goals and what we want for updates. I know we've talked about public meetings to get more of the public ideas in. So I think they're putting a schedule together for when they can host some of those. But I'll get all that information, or Nate will provide that with you at council.
All right, thank you, Kale. Move on to item 6, update on CIP equipment purchases with possible action for zero-turn lawnmower, UTV, and field drag.
So again, let me see if I can share this screen. So before I start on this, this was the CIP that we did from 2025 to 2029, and talking with Nate Torres, city administrator, this has not been approved yet. So I'm not asking for any action. I'm just trying to keep you guys updated because I would like to move this forward if the CIP gets approved this year, and then we could look to move ahead. For this year, I had requested a zero turn for 19,000. This would be addition to what we currently have. We have the BX tractor and a zero turn. As I told you before, the zero turn, both tractors get used every day. The BX this was a good year for it. That BX tractor was used all mowing. Like, we have all these attachments that we just can't use because it's mowing. So again, last year's budget, I hopefully requested another zero turn so we could send out 2 zero turns to mow all the areas that we have and keep the BX for special projects with the tiller and the end loader, and do some of those things that we can't get to. So I reached out to Portland Implement. That's what we currently have is the second line is the mower that we currently have, the ZD 11 or 1211. As you can see the prices, I reached out to Tractor Central, again, all diesel, and then Nelson Agra Center with the Ferris. So I'm not coming for any action today just because nothing has been approved, but I want to keep you updated. These quotes were done about a month ago, so I'd probably have to get new quotes either this year or next year, depending on when this gets approved. So prices could go up, just to remember. The one I like, we've tested them all, but Tractor Central, I'm headed out there tomorrow to kind of look at theirs. The hard part for me is I would definitely, again, entertain the Ferris or the John Deere, but with our staff and what we currently run, it's a lot easier. We know what we're getting into if something breaks, or, so we're not having 2 different mowers and trying to figure out why it's wrong, and then the other mower, why it's wrong. So right now I would be leaning towards the Portland one, but again, I got to go check the John Deere place tomorrow and kind of go through theirs. The UTV is the next one on the list. I budgeted 30 grand for that. My goal on this was, we currently have a old golf cart that barely has any brakes left. The safety is my highest concern with that vehicle, and with high school and college kids driving that. The UTV would also help water flowers. I had talked with the police chief if we could take a UTV down, and we would have to get his approval, but he thought that could be something if necessary. Currently we have the truck that waters flowers, and 2 guys are in that on Main Street. Again, the concern that we're running into is our staff is leaving for college and other football practice and all that. So if we had to water with one person, it would just be a lot easier with a UTV. And then also we had talked about in the winter, if we continue to do the cross-country ski trails at the golf course. Could we get a UTV with tracks on it, switch them out in the winter, and then what's the word I'm looking for?
Room.
Groom the trails, exactly. Thank you. So that came in a little higher, as you can see. Just in reference, Portland Implement, the new one is 26, and if you look at their tracks, they're 14,000. So that would put us over that 30,000 if we had to. However, the John Deere one, the 2023, an older one, so it's a couple of years older, is 23,250, and their tracks are only 6,000. But we would have to get warning lights and light kits. So that 2023, with tracks and all that, would come just under 30,000. So that would be something that we would look at doing if we could.
I'm
You were
curious.
oh, sorry, you were using a snowmobile before, right? And that thing
Yeah.
was breaking down.
So I don't know what year it is. I think it's a 98 Skidoo snowmobile. It's hard starting it. It's, it's not reliable. It gets the job done. It just takes a lot longer. And again, it's just not reliable. And if that goes, then we would have to have that talk if we're going to continue investing in another snowmobile or UTV type of machine.
I was just curious, the list price on the Gators is lower than the sale price.
Yeah, they do some incentives. I probably didn't put it in there. So there's, I would have to check that.
That's okay.
Does
That
it have
that was interesting.
is the warning light kit included or no?
For
In the sale price?
For the Portland one, it is, not the Gators, not the John Deere ones. The warning light is about $500 roughly.
Probably isn't much of a question for Kale, but if we go with a gator down the road for doing water, I'm guessing we would have to revisit the ordinance for gators on Main Street.
Not necessarily. I think that's a decision the city can make.
Yeah, currently we run our golf cart down the city roads right now. And four-wheeler and lawnmowers. So I don't know. That would, definitely have to be a question, but we do run some of those equipment down the roads right now. And then the last equipment that I asked for would be a three-wheel baseball drag. I don't have a picture here, but it is what it says. It's a three-wheel. It's got attachments. So instead of dragging something behind it, most of these have hydraulics that you can run out on the field, drop the implements, and just drag right away. Saves time. But as Cindy said, they are expensive. Everything's expensive these days, as you guys know. But these are the two I only found. Toro makes one. I haven't got that quote yet received, but they're kind of sand pros. They're also like bunker rakes. If you've ever been at a golf course, they drive down in bunkers and rake it. So a bunker rake or a Sand Pro or a Smithco. But again, they come in under that 30,000 currently right now. But don't know what's going to happen down the road.
How many fields do we use those field drag on?
So we maintain 6 softball, baseball fields.
So some of them are over at the high school.
Yep, 4 of them are at the school grounds. We have 2 of them.
I assume it's been discussed that why we have to do all of, I'm sure there's some agreement between the school and the city about who takes care and.
Yeah, we maintain them during the summer because our programs are at those fields. So.
They're very expensive though. Gosh.
So again, nothing today because it hasn't been approved at council, but hopefully if it does continue to move forward and they get approved, I'd bring these back. But again, right now I would be kind of leaning towards the Kubota zero turn just because that's what we currently have. Not saying again, we can't change, but just the ease of everything. And then the older John Deere, just because we could get tracks with that. And then the Smithco, which is at 25 instead of 28 for the Sand Pro. But again, I'm still working on a few more quotes, so I'll have a few more quotes for you guys when I bring this back to you.
All right. Any other questions? All right, move on to item 7, possible closed session per Wisconsin statute 19.851C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governing body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. Park supervisor review.
Make a motion, we go into closed session.
Sid Yell, second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
We got to do a roll call.
Got to do roll call.
Andrew,
Aye.
Seth.
Aye.
Emma,
Aye.
Cindy,
Aye.
and Steve.
Aye. All right. So we're going to go into closed session. So step out in the hallway and